Ukraine wipes out more than 100 Russians as disastrous Kremlin assaults go badly wrong. Kyiv's army reportedly repelled 58 Russian attacks towards Pokrovsk on Monday, inflicting heavy casualties. Ukraine's army has reportedly wiped out over 100 Russian soldiers in a single day, as Putin's forces continue their push for Pokrovsk. The Donbass city has come under intense attacks, as the Kremlin desperately tries to seize full control of the urban settlement. Known as the gateway to Donetsk, the besieged city is a key transport and logistics hub on Ukraine's eastern front line. Putin's forces have been trying for over 20 months to break the will of its stubborn defenders. Russian commanders have amassed a force of around 155,000 troops in the Pokrovsk sector. Ukraine's high command has rushed in reinforcements, including special force units, to the city to help in its defense. Kyiv's army reportedly repelled 58 Russian attacks towards Pokrovsk on Monday, inflicting heavy casualties. Army commanders from the eastern group say 136 Russians were killed in the failed assaults. Ukraine's military claims to still control the northern part of Pokrovsk, with troops carrying out search and assault operations to hunt down Russian soldiers. Fierce fighting continues to rage in the city, and the situation remains very fluid. Ukrainian units are also holding their defensive lines near Mirnorod in Donetsk region and destroying Russian forces attempting to approach the city. The Institute for the Study of War reported that geolocated footage published on December 22 indicates that Ukrainian forces recently advanced along the E50 Pokrovsk-Pavlorod highway northwest of Pokrovsk. The think tank marks most of Mirnorod and Pokrovsk as a gray zone, a no-man's land without permanent control by either side. Ukraine's general staff said on Tuesday it had withdrawn its troops the eastern town of Siversk. The capture of Siversk brings Russia closer to the last remaining fortress belt cities of Sloviansk and Kramatorsk, still in Ukrainian hands in the industrial Donetsk region. Recently, Ukraine stuns Russia after storming and capturing key city on eastern front. The recapture of the eastern city will come as a humiliating blow to Vladimir Putin and his army high command. Ukraine's army has all but liberated Kupiansk from Russian troops, driving them to the northeastern outskirts of the city after days of heavy fighting. The recapture of the eastern city will come as a humiliating blow to Vladimir Putin and his army high command. His generals had boasted that they had taken full control of the city in November, when the Russian president visited the military command post of his army's West Group. At the time, he was informed by the Russian army's chief of staff Valery Gerasimov that units of the West grouping have liberated the city of Kupiansk and are continuing to destroy Ukrainian armed forces units surrounded on the left bank of the Oskol River. However, Ukraine's military vehemently denied the claims and launched a major counteroffensive in early December, encircling the city and cutting off Russian units from the main body of their army. Zelensky's troops have since been methodically mopping up remnants of the Russians trapped within the city. Latest reports suggest that Kyiv's forces have now regained control of most of Kupiansk, a vital logistics center and gateway to northeastern Ukraine. The pro-Kremlin war blogger Rybar, who is reported to have close ties to Russia's Ministry of Defense, said the situation had become worse than critical. A significant part of the bridgehead on the western bank of the Oskol River has been lost, including the villages of Kindrashivka, Radkivka, and Moskovka. The blogger blamed the defeat on the deliberate feeding of false information to Russia's political and military leadership. Systematic exaggeration of successes and transmission of incorrect information upwards have already led to the voicing of false information at the highest level, Rybar noted. Due to incorrect reports on the situation upwards, reserves that were not needed for the capture and clearing of Kupiansk were transferred to other areas. Another Russian military blogger noted that Kupiansk was destroyed, while Andriy Kovalenko, head of Ukraine's Center for Countering Disinformation, simply said, "Kupiansk, the Russians are dead." Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Zelensky said his country was prepared to pull back its troops from Donetsk, provided Russia does the same, to allow the creation of a demilitarized economic zone. U.S. negotiators had suggested creating an economic zone in Donetsk as a way to resolve the thorny issue of territorial concessions, which has proved to be a major stumbling block in peace talks. Zelensky explained that if Ukraine was prepared to pull its heavy forces back by 5, 10, or 40 kilometers in the 25% of Donetsk it still held, then Russia would have to do the same. Accordingly, by 5, 10, or 40 kilometers, Ukraine has already indicated that it is willing to abandon its long-held ambition for NATO membership in exchange for U.S.-European security guarantees that mirror the military alliance's Article 5 provision. The Ukrainian president told reporters that the ball was now firmly back in Russia's court, and any more procrastination by the Kremlin could have serious consequences for Putin. Moscow cannot tell President Trump, "Look, we are against a peaceful settlement. That is, if they try to obstruct everything, then President Trump would have to arm us heavily, while imposing all possible sanctions against them." In the Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson regions, the line of troop deployment as of the date of this agreement is de facto recognized as the line of contact. A working group will convene to determine the redeployment of forces necessary to end the conflict, as well as to define the parameters of potential future special economic zones. Meanwhile, Putin throws 400,000 soldiers into meat grinder as fighting rages on Ukraine's front line. Russia has likely suffered more than 400,000 military casualties in each of the past 2 years, as its forces continue costly assaults on the Ukrainian front line, the UK Ministry of Defence has said. The assessment comes as the conflict approaches its 4th anniversary on February 24, 2026, with total Russian casualties since the invasion began, now almost certainly exceeding 1 million. In its latest defense intelligence update published today, the MOD stated, "Although Russia has consistently suffered high losses since the start of its illegal full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, including likely over 400,000 killed and wounded in both 2025 and 2024, urban ethnic Russians continue to make up a disproportionately small share of service members and consequently casualties compared to the rest of the population." The Ministry of Defense highlighted a deliberate recruitment strategy that shields politically influential groups. It said, "By focusing recruitment disproportionately in poorer regions, often predominantly inhabited by ethnic minorities, the Russian state apparatus better leverages financial incentives while limiting the impact on urban parts of the Russian population that have higher political activity." The update also cited independent Russian media reporting on the detachment of the country's elite. It stated, "According to the independent Russian media outlet Proekt, less than 1% of Russian government officials have relatives who participated in the illegal invasion. Analysts concluded that the Kremlin remains prepared to accept heavy losses provided domestic support holds. The Ministry of Defense assessed, President Putin and the Russian top leadership are almost certainly willing to tolerate consistently high losses, provided this does not negatively affect public or elite support for the war. Fighting remains intense along several sectors of the 1,000-kilometer front line, particularly around Pokrovsk in Donetsk Oblast, where Russian forces have mounted repeated infantry-led assaults in recent weeks.